Hello, I'm David, I'm the Workforce Director. So I'm joining you from the Deakin Centre, from the Quiet Room, which is an initiative we introduced a few years ago as a result of feedback from the staff survey about needing space away from the clinical environment, from the busyness of the hospital, to spend time on breaks. So it's a lovely autumn day, and at this stage of the year, over 1.5 million people across the NHS are asked to complete the National Staff Survey to give their views on their experiences of work. So this year, the survey is taking place at a time when there's an increased focus on the NHS, on waiting lists, on unmet need, on how we use our resources. A particularly important time for the survey to take place. So the survey's been sent to 13,500 people here at CUH and colleagues who work with us through the bank. We're very proud to be part of the survey. So for some of us, receiving the survey is a great opportunity for us to give our views, to share the good, the bad, the indifferent. For some of us, we may want to focus our feedback on the free text section of the survey. We receive thousands of comments in people's own words, expressing their own views about how things are for them at work. And we read each and every one of them. A huge thank you for all of those who've completed the survey so far. Some colleagues may be more reluctant to give their views. They may feel they're too busy to complete the survey. They may rely on others to give their views, or they may feel they haven't got a voice. A comment we hear from time to time is that nothing ever changes. No one really cares about what the experience of work is like at CUH. Whatever your response to receiving the survey is, I do want to be clear that it's important to us that we receive really rich feedback. It does inform our understanding, where we pay attention, where we invest, and where we really drive change. So I hope you've experienced some improvements, some conversations that have arisen from the staff survey, and areas of improvement in your team, in the way you work, in your environment. 3 years ago, we heard very clearly that we needed to address the staffing levels in the hospital. The responses to the questions in the survey about the ability to deliver the quality of care that we would really expect were declining. Since then, we've worked hard to invest in expanding our workforce, with over 1,500 whole-time equivalent more staff over the past 2 years. A couple of years ago, we also heard about the cost of living pressures that were impacting on colleagues. We heard this particularly in the free text survey comments. We've been able to respond with a series of measures around travel, transport and food, an investment of £2.6 million each year. Amongst other things, that has allowed us to subsidise just short of 400,000 staff bus journeys. An area where we consistently want to hear more is from colleagues who reflect the rich, diverse community that makes up CUH. For example, the views of minority ethnic colleagues about career progression, or how safe it feels to work in the organisation, given the profile that sexual safety, often impacting on women, has had in the NHS, or how colleagues with a disability are able to access what they need to work well at CUH. On this last note, we are delighted that the funded adjustment service seems to be having a really positive impact. There is, of course, so much more we could do, should do, and hopefully will do. One example we often hear about is the issue of Cambridge waiting. Now, we haven't achieved that, but we're lobbying hard. What I want to do is to challenge the view that views don't matter, nothing changes, your voice doesn't count. If you're a line manager, I encourage you to work with your teams to ensure maximum take-up and that we get really good views from your areas of work in the hospital. For some colleagues, they may prefer to send the email link to their home email and complete it in their own time. So just a reminder, the survey's completely anonymous. We work with a company called Picker. They send the survey out, they send reminders, and in due course, they give us the results, completely anonymised. We are listening. I encourage you to complete the survey and join over 4,000 colleagues who've already done so. Please help us to understand what's important to you, how we can make good decisions, and how we can move forward together to improve work at CUH.